Hello. Before I begin this video, I want to provide a spoiler alert. The spoiler alert, mainly because I'm talking about two movies and I'm summarizing it and giving a lot away. Let's start with the film Free Guy. Let's begin at the beginning where there's Guy. He's in this kind of open world GTA kind of environment where people can kind of roam and his usual life seems kind of like out of a bad reality kind of thing where it's like drive-bys and shootings and stuff, and it's just like his everyday life because he's living in a video game and stuff like that. So at one point he meets this girl character in the game who's played by a nerdy girl in the real world, and he gets attached to her. In this video game world, Guy's friend is like a security guard within a bank, and Guy works at a bank. So if I'd mention that, his friend's a security guard, and they're usually getting down on the ground because there's a robbery in the bank. That's their usual day. Until Guy, wanting to be with the girl character, decides to put on the glasses. Then he's kind of like a player of the video game rather than a character. So Guy in a video game where you're rewarded for being like a bad guy, he decides to be the opposite, a good guy, which concerns the tech guys and also the boss. There's noted cameos to add to the story from popular YouTube gamers like Pokimane, Jacksepticeye, Laserbeam, and Ninja. In the story, there's also a gamer character who basically the character he plays is played by, like, the video game character that he controls is played by Channing Tatum, who helps provide information about a video game inside of a video game, basically where a stolen piece of video game was put into another video game, and the nerdy girl is trying to get the information on it, and she's trying to kind of shut down this game, basically. Shut down the Free City, which Guy lives in. Though, she connects with Guy, and really ends up just trying to focus on saving the character and also just getting a hold of the game. There's a cameo from Alex Trebek, which you could probably see in the trailers and stuff. That's about as long as the actual cameo is, but it's a pretty good cameo. And there's one by Chris Evans near the end of the storyline, because near the end scene, Guy uses a Captain America shield, and Chris Evans sees that. He's like, what the hell? So that was some memorable cameos I thought I'd mention. Near the end of the story, Guy is really trying to discover the game within the game, and has to go up against Dude, which is a really muscular guy, and he eventually defeats Dude, but not really with fists, more like he puts the glasses on Dude, and Dude gets distracted and runs around. That's basically how Dude is defeated. The boss, realizing that he's really got not much to work with, he hands over part of the game elements to the nerdy girl, and he keeps Free City, and Free City just kind of goes downhill for him, and sucks for him. At the end, Guy ends up in the video game world that the girl created with the first tech guy, nerdy tech guy. And it's discovered that nerdy tech guy created Guy, and because of this, the nerdy gal character ends up with the nerdy guy character. The end. I just got done with a re-seeing of the Suicide Squad movie from 2016, and to be honest with you, in rewatching it, I really feel like it just kind of went on and on a bit. Scenes dragged out more than they should have, and I didn't really connect with the characters that well in the first film. As far as storyline goes, you know, I didn't really not feeling for the characters when certain characters make a sacrifice, like there's a Skull dude who makes sacrifice and stuff. I felt nothing for that, you know, because where's the growth? In this one, there was this Katana. There was Rick Flag. There was Will Smith playing Deadshot. Captain Boomerang lasts the whole movie. There's a guy who was ability to like climb buildings and stuff. He died pretty quick. Amanda Waller has a big part in this film. I don't know, I just kind of give this movie a C-. Alright, now let's talk about the Suicide Squad 2021. The story opens up with Amanda Waller selecting a team to go on a suicide mission. You got this character with long gray hair who's good with targets. Woman who's from a different galaxy, good with a sword. You got Harley Quinn. You got a weasel character that's freaky looking, kind of creepy. You got Nathan Fillion playing detachable arm dude. You got Rick Flag making a return. You got Blackguard. You got Javelin, who's got an accent, a cool accent. You have Captain Boomerang. Now, in discussing how that goes, well, very poorly. Apparently, Blackguard, played by Pete Davidson, gave away the other characters in an attempt to, I don't know, because I don't think it would have went well any way you could have imagined it, but thanks to him, a lot of characters get killed off. Javelin. Harley ends up with his Javelin. Thought that's worth a mention. She lives. Captain Boomerang definitely dies. Yep. Weasel. Until the after credits scene, he's considered dead, but he's not really. So it's kind of like an iffy kind of territory there. Discuss it, but he didn't necessarily die because after credit sequence. But detachable arm dude's dead. Girl with sword, gone. He tries to escape with gray hair, long gray hair, who's pretty good at throwing objects. He tries to escape, but his head gets blown off because of the chip. When you're part of the Suicide Squad, you get like a chip, I think, in your neck, and then if you disobey, you get like that, basically. So, yeah, sucks for him. Blackguard's definitely dead because he gave away the location and stuff, but he just kind of gets like shot in the face, so that goes pretty bad for him. So, in really discussing who's left, we've got Harley Quinn and Rick Flag still remaining from the first mission. Amanda Waller, frustrated, has to get together another team. Her and her tech people set up this group. The new group she assembles is Peacemaker, Polka Dot Man, King Shark, Ratcatcher 2, and Bloodsport. And in order to get Bloodsport involved, who really doesn't want to be involved, they use his daughter. Basically, she's in trouble with the law, and if Bloodsport doesn't join the Suicide Squad, then she's going to be in bigger trouble, basically. There's also a dynamic between the two where it's just like a dislike amongst each other, where like she really just wants him to be a good father figure, and he's just not. But by the end of it, that'll kind of shift. So the first person that the group rescues is Rick Flag, but they didn't really necessarily rescue him. He was, let me see. He was with a leader of a revolt group, and they basically took out the whole majority of the revolt group, thinking that they were going to save Rick Flag, but Rick Flag was okay. He was with the woman there and patched up and okay. Their next assignment is getting Gallius Greaves, his character, who kind of reminds me a bit of Lex Luthor, just with weird things on his head. That's about it. Yeah, but they get a hold of him, and he takes them all to basically a spot where there's a starfish, an evil starfish that controls people. And that starfish gets loose and starts controlling people, which really isn't good. But slightly before that, there's this romance between Harley Quinn and this president of a place. And I think it goes well, but then Harley just kind of kills him because he says something that's really just kind of disturbing. So she's just like, nah, I ain't having that again. Dealt with a Joker, so nah. And also, there was a character named Milton. He kind of joined along with the group. He was kind of like the guy who provided travel, but he was killed off really quick. So, yeah, Milton wasn't much of a... He was just a regular guy. I like the story growth of the film. You kind of learn a little bit about the characters. Like, for instance, Ratcatcher 2, right up here. The father, first Ratcatcher, had kind of a drug addiction and, taught his daughter well, but it's briefly glossed over, but you kind of get a little bit of a backstory, which is pretty neat. I don't think they go into much detail about Peacemaker's backstory, but they do go into good detail about Polka Dot Man's backstory a little bit, where he has like a mother issue, and it seems like he can see his mother just pretty much everywhere he goes, and that's a bit disturbing. Also, there's a bit learned about Bloodsport, by his character a little bit, about what made him a criminal. Turns out his father taught him to be that way. So he's got a thing against rats, but he gradually gets over it thanks to Ratcatcher. Now, when the end storyline is about dealing with the evil starfish, they're in control. Who makes it, versus who doesn't, Let's get talking about that. Well, Rick Flag dies off. He dies off because of Peacemaker, who gets shot in the neck by Bloodsport trying to save Ratcatcher. But Peacemaker, in the after credit sequence, is kind of determined to be alive. Well, in the hospital, so it's kind of an iffy territory. You didn't see the end scene. After credit sequence, you probably assume he'd be dead, but no. Now, Polka Dot Man, he comes so close to killing off the evil starfish character, but he says the line, "I'm a hero," which literally is just asking for something crappy to happen to his character. And he gets killed off. He gets crushed. That's it. And Gallius Greaves, ultimate bad guy, he gets killed by the starfish. So, and the main people that take out the starfish characters are this group here. These are the main noted survivors and stuff of the film: Ratcatcher 2, King Shark, Bloodsport, and Harley Quinn. They're the main survivors of the film, and they defeat the evil starfish. And by doing that, and Bloodsport having information on what caused everything, thanks to Rick Flag gathering information and whatnot, basically he's able to get everybody their freedom. So nobody's going to be pushing the button on them, and their heads aren't going to explode. That's the nice way of phrasing it. So that's my summary of these movies. These two movies I saw recently. And I hope that you all enjoyed this video. It took me a while to put together the cards. I probably spent most of the week here and there putting together these cards to give the summaries. Some of the cards I didn't try as hard on, you can probably see that. Other ones I put a little bit more time into. So, I hope you all enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe, and yeah, I'll probably be doing more of the summary videos, but that'll probably be later on. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day.